Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. It's Allison here sharing a new 12 by 12 scrapbook layout with you. I wanted to share this layout with you because it features a significant amount of journaling. The event that I'm scrapbooking today is actually surgery that I had last summer, and I wanted to document the story behind it. So this layout is going to have quite a big chunk of handwritten journaling, and so here we are. Let's get started. I decided to start with some mixed media in the bottom right hand of the layout. I just used some close to my heart glacier re-inker to create it using the packaging technique. I did prep my cardstock with white gesso before I did that. I just used close to my heart white daisy cardstock. I think it's 80-pound cardstock. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's the weight of the paper. I also wanted to add some splattering to the background as well, so I added just a little bit more glacier re-inker to my all-purpose mat and dipped a paintbrush into it and then splattered it over the watercoloring. I'm just going to attach the white cardstock base to I believe this is Smoothie cardstock. It's a pink color, but it's almost in the sort of coral family. It has a lot of orange in it, I think. So it works well with the yellows that I'm planning on adding in this layout. So you just see me stamping some pattern onto the little girl's pants. I am using a brand new to me product. This is the Stamp Perfect. I bought it at Walmart. I don't know who the manufacturer is right now. I'm gonna have to look at the box again. I store it in the box when I'm not using it. And because the stamping on the pants was gonna be really finicky, so I knew that I wanted to use my stamping tool just to make it a little bit easier, and it worked fantastic. I'm really happy with how it works. Like I said, I did pick it up at Walmart. It was $20, which you can't beat that. And before I picked it up, I went actually onto Amazon to look at reviews before I purchased it, because I didn't want to get something that wasn't gonna be up to par, right? And I'm very happy with it, even though I used it for a really tiny amount of stamping. I plan on using it a lot more often with my stamping, and if and when I get back into making cards, I do make cards, but have kind of lost the drive to make cards these days, and I'm just sticking with scrapbook layouts. But I will use it for cards if I get back into that, and then also for any kind of scrapbooking finicky stamping that I want to do, kind of like I did here on today's layout. So I put the girl together before I started assembling my layout. There were a lot of pieces that went along with her, and actually the little x-ray film was the longest part to put together. I saved the pants for the video because I knew that I had wanted to stamp it, and I wanted to share with you how I did that, and then share kind of like a mini review on the stamping pad that I just purchased. So in the top left hand corner is where the girl with the x-ray is going to live. You saw me just kind of mark out where the title is going to be. I used my straight edge ruler and a pencil to mark that out, just to make sure my alphas stay straight. And in the bottom right hand corner where all of the mixed media is, that's where my picture is going to go. But for now, I'm just going to adhere my title. I used foam squares to add them to the top portion of the layout. On top of the title, I added my subtitle, which is Get Better, and I'm going to put a little blue asterisk beside the Get Better. I'm just going to use my Tombow Mono liquid glue to adhere the Get Better. I cut that with my Cricut from Saffron cardstock. This is also from Close to My Heart. All the products that I use today are from close to my heart. I didn't really deviate too much using other products in this layout. Although I am looking for opportunities to use the other products that I have in my stash every time I sit down to create. But whether it works or not is the question. And with this particular layout, I wasn't really sure any of the other paper products, at least, that I have in my stash would work for this particular theme. So I just stuck with cardstock and cut everything from that. So I'm just adding a couple of arrows beneath the title. I'm kind of thinking of it as a border. I just found an arrow in my Cricut image library, and then I duplicated it and flipped it so that they would both face each other. Below that is where all of the journaling is going to go. So all of that white space that you see in the middle of the layout is going to be reserved for my journaling. Before I get to that though, I'm just going to map my picture to some white cardstock and charcoal cardstock. Now, I have to apologize here. I am trying so hard to keep my layout in the center of the frame so that nothing is cut out. And for the life of me, I cannot figure out where my phone is supposed to be so I can keep everything in the frame. So please forgive me for chopping the bottom portion of my layout off. I try so hard to keep it straight. One of these days I will rectify it and I'll figure out where the sweet spot is. But for now, please just bear with me as I try and figure that out. So I matted my photo to some cardstock. The photo measures 3 by 4 inches. And then obviously the cardstock, both of them are just slightly larger than that. The picture is also going to be adhered with foam squares. And then I have a little pink tab that I cut also with my Cricut. That is going to be reserved for the date and some embellishing. So I'm just going to stick that to my layout with my tape gun. And then I have a couple of other arrows and another asterisk that I cut, and I plan on adhering to like the bottom portion of the tab that'll be in the top left-hand corner of the picture. You can see me kind of rearranging them right now, just trying to figure out the placement. The larger of the 2 arrows is going to be adhered with foam squares. I'm just cutting the squares in half so that they fit on the arrow, and then the smaller arrow is going to be glued with Tombow Mono liquid glue, and then also the asterisk as well. Once I have that adhered, I'm going to go and start marking out all the lines for my journaling with my straight edge ruler and a pencil. My plan had been to start recording my video again when I had most of my journaling written, and I totally forgot. So I got all the journaling written without filming, and then realized as I started drawing the lines in again with my journaling pen that I had forgotten to do that. So sorry. I'll try and remember again in the future when I have another journaling heavy layout. Oh, before I do the journaling, I do add another asterisk to the x-ray film and a cute little yellow arrow that's just going to go over top of that asterisk. Once that is done, I do go ahead and start marking out where the journaling is going to be. I had quite a bit to say about this occasion. This was a surgery for me. I had my gallbladder removed last summer and was quite sick. And so there was a lot that I had to say about the whole situation. Thankfully, my daughters were not home that week. The week before my surgery, it was July 16th, I was in Provo. And then the day that I got home, they picked me up from the airport, my husband and kids, and then we drove them to summer camp. So they were gone for a week, and then, which worked out perfectly because they were gone and I had my surgery and they didn't need to be at home and panic and worry about mom. So my journaling is done. I decided to pull out my Tim Holtz phrase stickers. This one is the Small Talk sticker book. And I found a couple of stickers that I thought would work really well for this whole scenario situation. I had trouble putting it on straight, so I turned my layout on its side so I could make sure I could get it straight, both the stickers that I used. Once those are done, I pull out some gems that I've had in my stash, apparently after I add the date. I just added the date on my roller stamp. It also has little phrases that I really like using in my layouts too. But with that little space on the tab, there wasn't going to be enough room for all of it, so I just stuck with the date instead of adding a little phrase to it. Now I pull out some gems, pardon me, from my stash. These are also close to my heart, and actually I need to stock up on them. I thought I had more, but I don't. So note to self. But I do sprinkle just a couple around the layout. So 3 will go right where I'm adding them now. I add 3 more over the subtitle, and then I add one last one to the heart in the little x-ray film in the top left. And with that, this layout is pretty well complete. The star of this layout is all of the journaling. I have no issue with writing. It has always been a passion of mine. So when I scrapbook, it's just natural for me to include journaling in a layout, and I wanted to share that with you. I have close-ups to share with you now as well. And that's it. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope this layout inspired you to add some journaling to your layouts. And I will be back again soon with more inspiration for you. Bye, guys.